Hello, Magical Beats. Welcome to your pick a card reading, answering what led him to contact you. Starting off with pile 1, we have Raw Iolite, our stone of psychic awareness. Pile 2, Raw Calcite, stone of natural healing. Pile 3, Astrophyolite, stone of the stars. Pile 4, Raw Ocean Fluorite, stone of smooth sailing. Take your time to meditate on each pile to pick your very best one. Hello, Pile 1. This is your reading for what's on his mind, body, soul, and surroundings to have had led him to contact you. With the Queen of Pentacles, you can see he's on his phone, kind of chilling in his surroundings, living life up, looking at his phone, kind of looking at all the girls that are fighting over him. However, he's in this energy of, I'm ready to come out of my little man cave and go fuck shit up with somebody. So when he's on his phone, he sees you and he says, it's about dang time we hang out, no? However, the Ace of Wands is about having some sort of fine print. And that fine print is you expecting someone to come, if someone is to come forward and you're going to devote time to them, you're going to want there to be some sort of emotional understanding that you guys are moving towards something. Not just hanging out with friends, not just having friends with benefits. He's in his little like fuckboy kind of like, I'm not here for the emotions. I'm here to have a key to your, lady bits. As you see, our Lovers card here isn't the usual monogamous. It's more centered around equal understanding that there's love for each other. Not to say that he does have actual commitments with anybody else, but just that his stance on love right now is just like everything's all love, which is beautiful for him. But as we stated, you have some fine print to you, and it's kind of up to him whether he wants to read it or not. As to what brings you guys together in his whole, he kind of has this deep karmic relationship with you, whether it's a past life or some sort of family karma that brought you guys together. It is a soul connection that was brought and guided together. As you can see, you can almost see like the grandma and the pets hanging around. As for his personality cards, he got Ozzy Osbourne. If you can see in the background, it has a little pentacle, but it's upside down. You can see when he's holding reality, it's up right side up, but he's on his like little devil rebel. As for this, it kind of signifies he doesn't make a decision or move forward with anything unless he has a balance of his emotions and understands how everybody else around him sees his actions and whatnot, and he just knows where he stands and isn't afraid to use his words to kind of ensure that. Now, this is the role he plans on being when he comes into your life, and this is how he perceives you. As you can see, it almost actually looks like the pentacle he's holding. He kind of sees you in that moment when he's looking at his phone and he sees you kind of just being you. It's a moment of inspiration and kind of just wanting to be a part of that fantasy with you. As you can see right here, he his role to play is that of inspiration and kind of following his intuition of knowing this is divine timing and this is when I'm going to message her. This is what I got time for. As you can see, this card signifies your connection. It's kind of just like, well, out of everybody here, she's the one that makes me grow a little longer. Could touch that ocean a little deeper. And this is the void he may unconsciously be trying to fill by calling you. It says, help someone decide if you're right for them. He might not know where he stands and kind of be expecting you to be the one to take that initiative. So you can see the flower of life is really initiation. And you might have actually helped him awaken certain aspects of himself, which brings us back to the whole karmic family situation where it's kind of like in your soul contract to meet up with him, be magnetized to him, and keep that energy of his flowing and just like have understanding for what's happening. So now right before he messaged you, this was the hindering thought he had about you. It says, I don't know if I'm still hung up on you or just the idea of you. And this is his own replies to himself. Back off, man. I'm just following my heart here. Sorry I'm texting back so late. Didn't hear my phone buzz. Was about to beat my high score in Dance Dance Revolution. So you guys might actually be playing phone tag with each other. This is supporting card for the hindering thought about you that gets him to contact you. It says, I don't think enough people consider the sexual applications of, and this is what he thinks you would reply to him if he was to draw out what's happening. It says, drawing Severus Snape like one of your French girls. So you might be an artist and he kind of likes that about you and hints at it. Harry Potter breaking just about every rule, getting 100 house points for it. And that comes out as the death card. Just like always coming back to you, always thinking about what it would be like to be with you. So it says magically denying your partner orgasm and getting off on it. So he secretly thinks maybe he's not good enough for you. And twincest, again with the mirroring. You guys might be each other's yin yangs. If you've ever heard of quantum entanglement, kind of understand each other on such a deep level. Let's see. What is he hung up on? Oop. The Chariot. So this is about wish fulfillment. He might almost think that you're too good to be true, but be using that as an excuse, to like cover up his fears. Because when you make a wish, it's a reflection of who you are at that moment in time. And if this is in reverse, I don't usually read reverse, but the Chariot in reverse is almost a stagnant energy. It's like the build-up before you make a move and really know where you're going. Welcome, Pile 2. This is your reading for what happened with his mind, body, and soul, and surroundings to have contacted you. We have Five of Cups, which means he was moping around for what he lost and not for what he has. Maybe nitpicking every little thing you do and not cherishing you, or seeming to not cherish you. As for his body, he kind of just realized, you know what, in the heat of the passion, she's the one for me. And has this idea of we can have this Ten of Cups moment together. But at the same time, he's in solidarity when he's having this sudden burst of understanding what really happened, not what his emotions were telling him he should be thinking. As for his personality cat, he got Notorious Cat, meaning he's kind of in the game to make that dough and kind of be the king, the center of attention. You know, it's all about him. And his energy kind of just being almost self-deprecating, and kind of like might look at you and not understand why something that he deems so severe to you might just be another leaf in the wind. As you can see with this card signifying what he sees you to be in that moment of, he kind of just wears his self-deprecation as something that should be melted off him, while you wear it elegantly as this like majestical being that isn't even human, almost just because you do it so effortlessly. And he's kind of just in that Knight of Pentacles, endurance, determination, I really gotta work hard to get it. And kind of just, life is what it is and has always been like that. Might have led him to believe that everything is super black and white and right or wrong and self-deprecating. As for the energy of your overall connection, you guys might be stuck in some sort of pattern. Maybe you guys bicker, break up, come back together, or he just says sorry and then comes back apologizing, you know, I mean, apologizes, saying he's never going to do it again, but once he's caught up in the heat of the moment, he kind of just isn't paying attention to the reality of things. As for the void he's trying to fill when he calls you, he really needs that support from someone when it comes to healing. He kind of just, as it said, the first list is sharp knife. He just needs help cutting through the bullshit in his head and kind of moving forward and understanding what is really happening, and that there's no need to self-deprecate so harshly. As for the hindering thought he has of you, it says, "Hey mom and dad, fat camp is going great. Thanks again for sending me." Kind of just being like, he might feel like he's on the outskirts, doesn't know what you're doing right now, but he's kind of just like reworking around everything that happened. And this is what he replies to himself. Says, "Bro, you gotta tone it down. Please respect my privacy, Kristen." He might like kind of like acknowledge to himself that it's you who chose to create the separation or this break, but then he kind of turns around and says, no, it was my choice. Are you sure that's something you want to share with your daughter? Again, that like kind of judgmental way of looking at things, everything's super black and white. Honestly, Ian, I'm really rattled by this. Kind of just, I'm not sure if you've noticed that if you do something, it's like the end of the world, but if he does the exact same thing, it's like he doesn't even notice. He made it seem like it'd be the end of the world for you. This is again just a supporting card for his hindering thought about you. It says, Quirrell is hiding blank under his turban. Lucius Malfoy's sex appeal. Fleur's lucrative profession as a camp girl. And these cards are what he thinks you're going to reply to him. Snorting fluid powder and going on a mental journey. A report on cauldron bottom thickness. Voldemort hiding underneath my turban. Literally, Quirrell is hiding. Voldemort hiding underneath his turban. Like, wait. That's a little odd that it almost seems like these two cards were made for each other. And it's the cups. Kind of just like Three of Cups is all about being in that playful energy, wanting to experience the best of life and kind of just joy, play, and celebration. Seven of Cups is more about the endless choices you have. So he might assume that upon wanting to contact you, you're just going to be like, oh, what are you to me? I'm over here with all these other opportunities. What do you think you are? Thank you, Pile 2. This has been your reading. Hello, Pile 3. This is your reading for what is on his mind, body, soul, and surroundings to have led him to contact you. With the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords, you can already see that you are someone who has been consistently in his life, and he has expected you to be there. Not with a good or bad connotation, just knows you're there and is emotionally appreciative of that. His personality card is Katy Perry. So he might be a musician or in some sort of lifestyle with the limelight. And this is his energy of just life force, kind of taking the good and bad and feeling it ever so deeply. When he contacted you, this is the energy he saws you as, just kind of the strategist. You're able to kind of look ahead and see what's coming, and you know what to do with it. And his role in your life, he wants to be the Seven of Pentacles, being able to have options and have a stable result. As for the connection with your overall energy, you guys have the Bioluminance card, which is about all the creatures and kind of just being that light in the darkness. He might be surrounded by a lot of unknown, or just not understanding where he wants to be in terms of what life has to offer to him, because he's not poor. I mean, he literally has like pure life force running around him. And this is the void he's trying to fill with contacting you. It says, Lithia spell for happiness. He just wants somebody to vibe with and feel. You can see this is your energy running through him. You guys are telepathically connected, and he just feels close to you. That's also why this card is here. He watches upon you on social media and sees that you have a personality of influence, know what to make of everything that life has brought upon you. Kind of just feels that you've succeeded or are succeeding, and sees you as that experienced Queen of Wands that could really like go out and just create the magic that she wants. But with the World right here, he kind of just has those cycles of maybe wanting you in your life. Wanting you in his life, but not knowing how to really move forward with that, or not knowing what he wants to do about it. Now, this is what hindering thought about you drove him to contact you. It says, you know the part in the Titanic when Rose lets go of Jack? Anyway, I would never let go of you, my love. See, he's emotionally invested in you. He wants... And this is what he would reply. Sorry for responding 2 years late. I was in the shower. So it's kind of like him replying to his own emotions almost. Like, he's not really gonna let you know. Yeah, but just a reminder, please don't eat peanuts or sesame before. This might be his own fears coming through of just like not knowing what you're doing with your life. Bro, can't talk right now. I'm watching Brokeback Mountain. He might have initially kind of started acting like he was busy, but eventually as time kept going, he kind of just was wondering why you might have taken like a few hours to respond instead of when you usually would respond right away. It says, this is a supporting card of his hindering thought about you. It says, unsatisfied with the earlier obstacles, Dumbledore chose blank and blank to guard the Philosopher's Stone next year. This is what he thinks you're gonna reply to him. The fucking Harry Potter epilogue. So the Queen of Wands, he sees you as that strong person that has experience in having sex and relationships and all these things. He kind of just like thinks you're gonna reply with like, well, what have you been doing with your life? Like, get to know me. A magical full body orgasm. He kind of fears that he's not your son, you know? Like, he's not your reason to shine. It says, Cornelius goddamn fudge. That's right. If someone's using fudge to guard their security, that must be some really good fudge. You might be thinking about your fudge and how good it be tasting. Let's see. Why won't he let go? Because of them cycles. No matter what, he always circles back around to you. And it kind of just, if he ever used the word destiny with you, he might be letting himself flow with the energy around him. And spirit guides always lead him back to you. Thank you so much, Pile 3. This has been your reading. Hello, Pile 4. This is your reading for what's on his mind, body, soul, and surroundings to have led him to contact you. With the Knight of Wands, he just thought of you and didn't think of the consequences of contacting you. He just went for it. But with the Knight of Cups, he's not someone who is super dependable with his emotions. He kind of just flies straight to them and contacted you because in his surroundings right now, he's just trying to find a higher frequency, and he remembers that with you, he felt that kind of happiness. His personality card, he got Cindy Crawford, which means he might be used to being surrounded by people, always showing off his talents, and kind of not being afraid to point out everybody else's issues. With the Energy Vampire card, it's not about him sucking energy out of people. It's more like he just wants to be the center of attention and has always been the center of attention and kind of just getting everything to go his way and being cheered on and, you know, kind of just being in the spotlight. He loves it. He lives for it. It's what he was made for. When he contacted you, this is how he sees you. And this is card of divine femininity and fertility, kind of just seeing you as his divine counterpart and wanting to put that to use, if you catch my drift. And this card is his role in what he expects to be for you when he contacts you. It says self-empowerment and ambition. He sees that you're not giving him the time of day and wants to come out and be like, hey, let's hang out, let's do something, let's change that. I want your attention. This card signifies the connection between you two. It says parts of a flower, kind of just being like, he sees you maybe as a delicate person. And this is the void he's trying to fill when he contacted you. It says attract new love. As he said with this swords card, he's not at his happiest right now and wants someone to show him love and adoration, attention. However, with these two gentleman cards, kind of speculating, it seems like he might first come in and be that like admiring prince, but when in reality he might be more of a hardworking man that sees the world as black and white and isn't that charming prince in every single fairy tale like Rapunzel who gets saved. He might, instead of being your dream man that you get saved from, he might be going through his own tower moment right now. Kind of expects you to be that like sunshine in his life, and comes and calls you and says, like that loyal dog, he expects you to come crawling, but as you see, the ring's kind of already left there in the dust. And with the ring card, there's always subtle commitments or unspoken things, fine print, if you will, certain expectations set. With the garden card, this is a story about the little girl that didn't want to share her garden, so he might see you as that person that doesn't want to share him because he is surrounded by so many people. He might not be giving you the exact type of attention that you want. As for the hindering thought that led him to message you, it says, want to come over, nibble on some wings, and play Bop It? I don't know about you, but that sounds an awful lot like skin smacking together. And this is his response to himself. Sure, but I'll drive. Your narcolepsy really freaks me out. You might be a habit of checking out if he does certain things that you don't like. To be honest, I'm still not over Steve Irwin's death, and until I am, I think we should stop texting. So he might have had some sort of loss where he kind of goes back and forth as to this is what I should be doing, and then thinks of you and says, like, I just need someone to make this all better. Says that was really forward. I've never heard you say more than 2 words in my entire life. He might be kind of like overwhelmed with how many feelings he has for you. Says, got you, fam. I'm hearing what you're saying and I'm loving it, but you used to cry in gym class like all the time, so I can't take you seriously. He might not be taking your emotions as seriously as you wish him to. OMG, this is why I love you. So you might have those like sudden moments of, oh, OMG, oh yeah, that's right. This is why she's in my life. This is why I want her in there. Again, with the kind of like being two gentlemen, he might go back and forth between that. Supporting card for what that hindering thought about you is. It says, one of the least known uses of dragon's blood is, this is what he thinks you're going to reply, a muggle's device that vibrates, cooking with Snape's hair grease, ew, Draco Malfoy's in a sexy nurse's outfit. He kind of assumes you're going to give him that same energy that he's giving you by messaging you, kind of like at a whim. If he messages you at a whim, he kind of expects you to message back and not really consider everything that has been happening, because to him it's like you're sitting over here with your spill cups and he's coming in to give you kind of like this fantasy dream. But at the end of the day, he's still just the Knight of Cups. He's not really accounting for what it means to be there for someone emotionally, because he's so wrapped up in being in the spotlight. The High Priestess. I don't read any reversal cards, so that's High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is all about opportunity, and the High Priestess is about having the knowledge necessary to know what to do with that Ace of Pentacles and kind of move forward with that. Thank you so much, Pal, for this has been your reading. Thank you.